So here's what I have come up with. I know which one wire I need to activate to make the lights come on. And I have this switch hooked to it. And it's one of this big bundle of wires. But I only need that one wire. I don't need any of this here. And right now I have a wire that runs to this over here, and I have no idea where this hot wire comes from, but I suspect it comes out of this. So I suspect what I have going on is a big wire that runs in here that activates the switch, starter, and all that stuff, and then probably a secondary wire that runs down here just in case someone needed the wire. This was kind of plugged off. I don't want to use that wire because I want to use a wire that has a breaker on it, so that if I ever have a problem, the breaker will kick rather than having that short something out and burn up a wire. I doubt if I ever will, but it's better to be safe. Now under here I have a breaker box and it's not in use, and that's it. This flashlight, that's it right there. That's a good looking breaker box. I doubt if any of that's hooked to anything, but it would be easy if I had a hot wire to run a hot wire to this side over here. I could literally, if I wanted to, disconnect everything here and then reconnect it to the things that I want to have. So I think what I'm going to do is take that breaker box off and clean it up and run a hot wire to it, which is where we get to this. This is my hot wire. I ran this wire. It's a big heavy wire. It goes directly to the battery, which is back there down inside that thing. Goes under the boat, comes up through the floor, and ends here. So what I can do is, rather than involving myself with all that wire over there, I can run this one hot wire up here to this breaker box, disconnect everything off of it, and then come off of it with breakers and run one to the lights, and if I choose to have an electric horn, one to the horn, and then another one to the depth finder, things of that nature. And if I ever need anything else up here, radios or anything, lights, I'll have a breaker box to work out of. I'll have a dedicated hot wire running to a breaker box with opportunities to expand from there to do whatever it is I want to do up here. So this is hooked up right now, and if I was to touch it with this here, you can see the fire in my tester. Now this is all plastic and fabric, so there's nothing there for that to ground out to. So what I'm probably going to do tonight is cover the boat back up and come back in the morning, take this breaker box off. Well, I may take it off tonight, clean it all up, test it, get it working, make sure everything's okay. Tomorrow I'll come in here and run this wire to that, run a wire from that to the lights and to a switch. Now I have a toggle switch that I can use, or I can come up with something else. And I kind of like the toggle switch, or what I might like better is a regular light switch, one that you pull out and push in. And I want to get rid of all of this, but I don't necessarily want to cut all the wires. What I kind of think about doing is maybe pushing that inside there and leaving it in there. That way, if there is anything important here, I won't have messed it up. And then make me a little cover to fit over that and put it on there. And then I might put my light switch there. I'll be taking this radio out and doing something here too. And I've got, someone's already done something like that over here where this is. And I may, I'm not sure where I'm going to mount my fish finder, but it might be mounted there. I don't know. Or it might be mounted here. We'll see what I come up with to close that hole with. So that is the plan. I guess I could show you the wire. The wire runs down through the floor under the boat, comes back up over here. It's that red wire, and then hooks to the battery right there. Oh, the joy. Well, actually, I think I can get it. I'm just going to throw it over the edges like I did last night. I'm just going to throw it over the edges like I did last night. Just to keep them. Sure. What? Wow, honey baby. Wow, look at this. Look at this stonework. Look at that. Wow. Well, let's have a seat.
I feel a little dusty.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, baby. All right. Huh. That's pretty snazzy.
Sure is. Yep. So this ain't going nowhere.
So this is going to be our morning spot. We sit here and watch the sun come up. The sun comes up over those trees every morning, so it'll be a good morning coffee spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Some Adirondack chairs.
Yeah.
Yep. Plenty of room with the
yeah, put your fire pit out here. I'm gonna go get my phone so I can take a picture of you sitting out here. I guess I can move these chairs too now that, because Charlie won't get stuck. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I took that radio out, which cleared up a lot of space to see what was back in here, and I took out the fuse block. I see I took it out. I've got it pulled down, and interestingly enough, I tried touching the hot wire to this point here, which should be where it needs to connect, but it's not transferring energy into the fuse box because there's no hot points over here, and when I touch a hot wire to that, so I'm going to take the whole thing off. These three here were all ground wires. It was also a ground wire over here from the cigarette lighter and another one from the radio. I think what I'm going to do is shoot a picture of these 5 wires that are connected here. By the way, these were running over to, well, these were the hot wire that was originally coming in there. And they run in with these other wires that go, oh, who knows where. You know, they're probably different things, been used at different times. Maybe that none of it's being used now. But what I do a lot of times when I'm wiring and stuff is I'll just take my cell phone, I'll just shoot a picture, and what I want to see is these wires right here, that yellow, that white one, and that orange one, and that one with the stripe, and that gray one with a stripe, and this purple one here. That way, once I got a picture, if I pull all these off and suddenly the bolt wouldn't crank, or there was something that should work that stopped working, I can come back to this and hook it up. And I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think there's any power. Well, I don't think there's any. I guess I had checked this before, but I could check it again right now while y'all are here. See if this had power to it here. Then oh, look there. It does have power to it. Okay. Well, I didn't realize that, but okay. So this wire here does have power. See, I ran a wire all the way from the battery to bring power up here, but apparently I have power right there. So could be that some of these things are actually working, but I tell you what I'm going to do still. I'm going to disconnect them all and see how this green stuff is all over this, corrosion and stuff. I'm just going to take all this out. I'm going to clean it all up. I'm going to probably pull a battery out of the Rambler and bring it up in the garage, sit this on a bench, and just run some power into it, put a ground on the other side, and check each one of these fuse areas and see if there's power going through this thing. There. It didn't seem to me that there was, but it could just be a matter of everything being corroded. There's a couple of screws here. I should be able to pop these screws out, and that will allow me to see what I expect to see inside of here. There's a piece of metal here that's going to run in here, and it's going to run to one side of these fuses, and then it's going to run out of here. It's going to go to the other side of the fuse and then connect to these here, so that the power that comes in here has to pass through each one of these fuses before it goes out of here. This ground over here, you'll notice, is not connected to anything here. This is just a place to have a ground, and there was one of these wires would have been grounded so that you had a ground right here. Now that I've disconnected this, I may have disconnected the ground that was up there for the light earlier, but we'll see. But I'll take this in the garage, we'll take it apart, we'll clean it up, we'll test it, we'll come back and we'll mess with it.